Consumerism. Let's focus in on, us as consumers, everyday consumer products that we buy. What makes a green product, and is that appealing to us? Thoughts?
I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know what to say at this point. Okay.
Well, let's go food-wise, like organic,
right?
Which
is very confusing.
Better. Right.
We have all different kinds of labels, and we don't even know what that means. Well, personally, I have no clue.
Right. And there's grocery stores that are specifically organic, typically a little more expensive.
Right.
But do you guys go to those stores, or do you think about it at all?
I mean, I do think about it. The problem is, aside from like organic's supposed to be better for you because it's the way it's grown, and I recognize that, but at the same time, it's like in terms of overall environmental impact, what's better? Is it better for me to have an organically grown apple flown in from California for me to eat, or is it better to go upstate to a farm that maybe isn't officially organic, and maybe they do use like a little bit of a pesticide, but nothing toxic or too overbearing because of where we are. It is a problem, especially for certain crops. But they try and minimize the use of pesticides as much as possible. They're a small farm; they can't afford to get stamped as organic by the USDA. Is that better? It is in terms of the fact that, we're not flying it in from California. It's not burning all this.
We're already saving, right?
Right. Yeah. And it could be less expensive too.
So it's possibly better to buy local.
This is I think that's the catch-22 about this whole thing. It's like people are so torn, like what's good and what's not. And I feel like these labels are just trying to create an aura, like this is better, so buy me. And I don't know
Is it better for you or better for the environment? That's where I get confused about organic food. I don't know if it's being so green to buy an organic apple. Is it?
Well, organic is just, it means
they don't use
pesticides.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is good for the environment. I'm not saying that.
Right.
And there are very toxic pesticides that are used, but at the same time, it's like, sometimes you have to use a little pesticide. My father grows a lot of things, and he sprays his trees because otherwise you don't get any fruit.
Of course.
Because there's so much pests. But, you
what,
wash it and it's fine.
What worries me the most usually is those chickens that pop out about 10 eggs a day or more. They live in cages. That's not normal. That's what really...
and the hormonal, injecting meats with hormones. That's weird, but that's natural. Isn't that natural? Are hormones natural?
But it being injected with hormones isn't natural.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right?
But couldn't you feasibly label a chicken that's been injected with hormones as an all-natural chicken? There's no regulation on that. I think that's why the labeling is too confusing for the consumer market. Yeah. I don't know what.
And also, going back to the eggs, there are cage-free eggs, and then they're organic.
Right. Are there organic eggs in cage?
Oh yeah.
So what's the difference?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah, I've seen
the free-range chickens just.
Free-range chickens mean that they're not they're cage-free, which is they're allowed to roam.
I feel like that's
an animal rights issue, not really green.
Yeah, but I feel like that's already enough for me.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Well, okay, and then even off of Consumer Reports, I found a thing on chocolate.
Yeah.
And cocoa, evidently, it's very hard to grow. It only grows in certain regions, and often they're third world countries, and obviously we don't want to deplete these environments, and these ecosystems are usually very fragile. So, but even in chocolate, which I had never really paid attention, there are 3 different labels. One is the organic, USDA certified organic.
Okay.
One is fair trade certified. Right. And one is the Rainforest Alliance. So it's like, well, how do you know what's what and what do you buy? According to the Consumer Reports report, I mean, there are a lot of similarities between the three when you look at the definition. It seems that the three tried and restrict the use of agrochemicals and pesticides, all three of them. So it's like, then why are there three labels? And why, that's confusing, I think.
Well, it's just the fair trade is more about the workers, correct? And about
it is more about the workers and making sure they receive a fair price, but it is also does mean that crops are grown using soil and water conservation measures that restrict the use of agrochemicals. Mm-hmm. It's something that all three of them have in common.
Okay.
Looking at the Fair Trade Certified and the Rainforest Alliance. Mm-hmm. Fair Trade Certified means farmers and workers get paid a fair price. Trade is done directly between farmer-owned cooperatives and buyers. But then the difference between that and the Rainforest Alliance isn't that much. It's just that limited use of agrochemicals, same as the fair trade, and grown using water, soil, and wildlife habitat conservation measures. The only wording difference between the first and the second is that the Rainforest Alliance threw in wildlife habitat. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I
know. It's like, and then farm laborers are paid salaries and benefits equal to or greater than legal minimum wage of their country.
Okay.
It's so similar. I'm
it's just,
it just creates confusion, I